Right, hello. Hey Rinks, how's it going? Hope you're having a good week. How are we sounding? I think we should all be okay. Haven't changed any sound levels, so hopefully audio is still good. Yep, sounds good. Okay. So, swap over to this scene. There we go. Right, so what did we get up to yesterday? Not yesterday, day before. We were looking at our mock server with the idea that when the player has finished placing their units, we want to send the placements up to the server, and then the server sends back down the validated setup to the player for the units to be placed on their active game board. So we actually got that all working. So when we select some units here, and we can place some down, and then when we click confirm here, what happens is this placement gets serialized into a string that gets sent to our mock server scene that for the moment is just pretending to be a server, and then on the next game scene this is sent back down to the player board, and the units placed according to what that string was. So might be here in the logs. I might have hovered over too many cells there. Somewhere here in the logs. Okay. So this is the sending of the squad up to the mock server. This is the mock server saying they've received this setup of units, and then we sent them units back down and they get placed onto the board. And then we messed around doing this hover effect as well. So that was what we did on Tuesday. One second, just having a quick look. Sorry, just responding to a text very quickly. Right. Okay. So what we want to try and do today, at the moment we've got this thing where if we click on a unit we can move them around, and we're like highlighting cells based on a pattern. We'll probably do some edits to that, but what I wanted to do today is actually put some like validation into these movements, because at the moment we can just move to anywhere. And I think that also includes moving on to a cell that's occupied. No, okay, it doesn't let you do that. But that will be the plan for today. But we'll get onto that in a little bit. What we'll do, we'll start off with our dailies. Try and focus the mind a little bit. Get us into a more of a thinking mood. Hey, welcome back. How's it going? Hope you're having a good week. So hashtag is Wordle in 4 ways. We've got 4 different words to find, similar to Wordle. Green is in the correct spot, yellow is in the right word. You're on 50 somethings on word salad. Oh, you did them through in order. What was the one? There was one the other day that was quite good, I think. So yeah, with hashtag, you want to swap tiles to create the right words, and you're limited on the amount of moves, so it's better to try and figure out what all the words are before you start swapping stuff around. And normally it's a good tactic to look for how many vowels you've got, because obviously most words will have 1 or 2 vowels. But here we've got 4 A's and 2 E's, so it's not really going to help too much in this one. You do several in a row. They are good fun. I really like word salad. I'm glad I've added it in. How was the... You were playing like a black and white point and click. Was that yesterday, I think? Looked quite fun. Right, so we've got a couple of L's, a couple of K's as well. Oh, you did it pretty fast. Not a lot to it. You're storming through these point and clicks at the moment. So this K could be in either the horizontal or the vertical there. The fact that we've got 2 L yellows makes me think that the crossroad should be the L. But also, actually, the A could be the crossroad point as well, because we've got 2 yellows there. Surely this middle letter's got to be an A. So this could be something like small. And what could this be? Neck, maybe? We got no, that would be L, wouldn't it? Okay, the easiest thing to think about, I think, is going to be what this first letter is. It can't be LM, it can't be KM, it can't be FM because there's no F in this word, and it's not the A. It's very unlikely to be EM, I think. So it has to be the S, right? Which would swap these two. And normally here in hashtag, if you swap 2 letters, there's an option to get both of them to green. So if S swaps into here, hopefully the A should go green as well. Yeah. Okay, we now know that there's no other A's in this vertical word. So there's only 1 A in this horizontal. I think this has got to be small going across here. Which means the F has to swap with one of the L's. Which may be this one. This could be like flame. Quite like that. Which means an E swapping with a K. And I think a K at the end of the word here makes sense. So let's try and swap this E and that K. Yep. So we want an L to go here. We can swap the F and the L. That we're happy with. So this is probably blank going across. So we want this A and L to swap, which we can do there. And what's this going to leave? It's going to be blank. ankle, I think, is what we've got. So we can swap those two, and swap those two. Nice. Okay, on to Betweenle, where we're looking for a word based on where it would go alphabetically. And normally, to make it a little bit harder, because you get 14 guesses in this, I like to use all 4 of these words as initial guesses, so they don't really... Yeah. I've got a few to work through. It's normally about 25 minutes to half an hour worth, which I feel like is enough to get me into a thinking mood for the rest of my day. So what I'd like to use is, if we start with one of the words that is at one end of the alphabet, so ankle would be a good starting word. We're unlikely to have the word that we're looking for as being alphabetically before this. So this should go up, and then we'll be told, okay, the word we're looking for is actually really close to this, to ankle. It's only 1.5% of the way away. So we'll start with the other 3 words from the end of the dictionary. So small, then flame, then blank. And that will narrow down, but it won't really help us here. But it minimizes our guesses a little bit. So we're looking for something between blank and ankle, and it's mostly, it's nearer ankle, so it's probably going to be an A, maybe AT word. Let's try atlas. Okay, that's really close. Maybe is there AS? Let's try aspen. Okay, somewhere like midway between that. Can we have like ASU? AST? ASV? No. ASY? Or ATA, maybe? Why can I not think of this? It's probably going to be AS something. ASU. I keep on thinking of like more than 5-letter words, and they're not going to be spelt right to try and fit them in here. As well, no. Astra? Astra is probably a word. Astro. Astro's not a word? Some of the 5-letter words that they count, I would have assumed that Astro would count. What can we get here? Can't think of anything here. Not quite how he fell asylum, but okay, it's got to be AT then. ATA. Atari. It's not going to work. Atoll. Atoll is too late in the dictionary. Atone? No, it's too late. We've got to go for something that's before Atlas. Attend. It needs double T. At. There's apparently quite a few words between these two words, but I can't think of any at the moment. Atec. I'm really struggling today. It's a good job we're doing these, because hopefully it means when we get to the coding, we're going to be a bit more awake than this. Skews too high up, unfortunately. We're looking for a word that's alphabetically after Aspen, but before Atlas. So somewhere in that. So if it starts AS, it'll show you here with the letters highlighted what the next letter could be. Or AT has to be before ATL. And it's just not coming to me today. Sometimes it is a word that I'm like, oh, this is just not a valid word. So if I can't think of anything too soon, I might just cheat and look up some 5-letter words. Yeah, it's just something a bit different from the standard Wordles. Attain. Attain, I think, needs double T. Oh, you mean with the words that aren't really that commonly used. Can't use that. Can't use Ath. Can't do Athens. I'm really not seeing anything here. Tire. Still needs double T. Is there any words here? No, okay, we're cheating. 5-letter words. Oh, that's so I can type as well. Words starting with AT. Wow, my typing is terrible at the moment. Yeah, see, like, Athan. Can I just reject all? Save preferences. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this one. It's normally quite good. So what are we looking for? Above Atlas. Are there any words that are actually words here? Let's try AS and see if that's got any other better. So we're going after Aspen. Maybe assess or asset. There we go. Just couldn't think of it today. It was a valid word at least. I'm not too mad about that. That's more a fault of my own than... Okay, on to Wordle. And what I like to do is use previous answer as our starting guess here. So we know there is one A somewhere in the word. Let's go for... tend to like EL words. So plaque. Okay, we've got an L and an A. We don't have an E. Can't do that. Something, maybe final. Let's try that. No, okay, no good there. So A is either second or last. We do have an R as well, so maybe let's try something LRA. Or maybe lycra? Oh no, we've used the C. Is anything there? Anything RA? Where would the L be? Can we go L Flora? No, don't have an F. Oh, the L can't be there either. So maybe L first. LA. We haven't got an E. Laura? No. Wow, we're really struggling on these today. What that normally means is the later words, which are, the later dailies should be quicker. If we put the A at the end, I think the A has to be at the end. Morning, Mars. How's it going? Lurking, but it took a hectic turn. Oh no. I hope it's not been too bad. Too manic. I think I like A at the end. So L is going to be maybe this position. I might have to just guess something that I know is going to be wrong because... can't see these words at the moment. Lardy. Don't think that's a valid word. It is a valid word. Okay. Okay, so A has to be at the end. I didn't really get much more there because the R we'd already checked. Oh no, we hadn't already checked the R, sorry. Right, okay, we haven't got many letters left. And we know we have to end A. The L has to be either here or here. I feel like we're going to need another vowel. So the U or the O. It's probably here. Is bowler? Is that a valid word? No. It's not quite whole. Molar. Mauler? Is howler a word? No. It's gonna be something like this. Boller? Hmm. Holler. We can try holler. I really hope this isn't the right answer though, because I'm not sure that really counts, does it? Oh my god. How is there no... Oh, wow. Okay, so we're ending LA. But we've got so many gaps. This is a brutal one. We might have just been unlucky that with our guesses here. We've got to have the U somewhere here or here, I think. Could it be an X word or a Z word? Sol. I don't think I'm going to feel bad for not getting this one. Mulber? Jumler, maybe? Gumler? Maybe a QU? Something LA? Yeah, I that went through my mind as well. I was like, no, that's not possible. It's like Jumla a word? No. Gumler. Gobbler. What? Surely we have to use the U, right? There's no way there could be like 3 consonants LA. No, 4 consonants ending in an A. Bala. No, there's not another A either. Oh, and the other's wrong, yeah. What is going on with today's... I think we have to use the U somewhere. Uvula? Isn't that the thing that's in the back of your throat, right? Oh my god. Wow. That was rough. That was rough. Wow, I think that's going to be one of the worst Wordle words. Oh, I'm gonna get drained before we even start on the, the programming today. Right. Well, enough of the word type games. On to Travle. So we're trying to go from Namibia to Gabon. Yeah, it's a bit of that today. And we're trying to cross the fewest borders. Africa is not one of my strongest continents for this game. And yeah, the idea is you get a perfect game if you do countries in the correct order. So from Namibia up to Gabon, crossing the fewest borders. Yeah, it's definitely Africa. We're east coast of Africa. I think Egypt is like up here. I think this is more going to be like, if we guess the Democratic Republic of the Congo, that's like a massive country around here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, sorry, this is west. This side of Namibia is the west coast, and I think we've got South Africa just here underneath. I'm fairly sure. We're either central or west coast down. Yeah, so I think Congo's probably going to be touching one of these countries. Okay, somewhere in the middle there. So below Congo, maybe Angola. Yeah, okay, that's good. And then we just need something here connecting the two, which I think is the other Congo. So we won't get a perfect game here, but because we didn't do it in the correct order. But I'm quite happy with that. You cheated on hello because you hadn't heard of either of these. Normally, if it's any of the countries around the south part of Africa, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is like such a big country that it's going to be touching quite a lot of this. So it's normally my go-to. But that wasn't too bad. Right, on to connections. 4 groups of 4. Yeah. Texas is the only real place in the world for most Texans, isn't it? Okay, hopefully this isn't as tricky as Wordle today. So, grain drain, total cube, syrup shred, signature sap, jam tax, powder rock, empty groove, tip, and exhaust. So, drain, sap, exhaust, and empty. Yeah, I do like that. Is there anything else that fits into that group? Because sometimes there's a fifth and you have to eliminate it. Shred could maybe fit into that, but I think those all fit together. Shred, groove, jam, and rock. Yeah, tax could fit into this. I'm also thinking like syrup, jam, and sap kind of fit together as well. Yeah, it's big state, isn't it? Like grain, groove. I do like these though. I think sap maybe not, because sap I can see other things that it could fit with. Tax could fit with this. So let's just remember that group. Like total, tax, and tip and signature could all be things on a check, right? Or the bill. I quite like that group. And then what would that... So we've got those exhaust, empty, drain, and sap, I guess. Jam and groove. Rock. There's like shred, jam, groove, and rock are things you can do with a guitar. Right? Yeah. Which would leave shred, jam, groove, rock. So exhaust, drain, empty, sap would be left. And then grain, syrup, powder, cube, which are things for sugar. I like those 4 groups. So let's go with this then. Shred, jam, groove, and rock. I like this for guitar. Play music with passion. Okay, and the sugar ones were syrup, cube, powder, and grain, right? And then empty, drain, sap, and exhaust. Which is the the first group that you suggested. Nice. Deplete. Yeah, this has got to be to do with sugar, right? Nice. Cool. yeah. You spotted it. You spotted the hardest connection straight from the start. Oh wait, what's the... I can't remember what the colour orders are. Okay, purple's the tricky one. Right, on to word salad. So word salad is word search. We're forming words that match this theme, and you can make words in any order. They can wrap back on themselves, and we're looking for 5 different answers here. These answers are they're all in alphabetical order, and the numbers are how many letters in... I don't think they're gonna use Oh, I thought you were actually saying there's a swear word. I saw the UCK here and I was like, oh. But yeah, this is how many letters in each answer, and the answers are alphabetical. You're a something head. You are a... Can't get plonker. Sock. Can that be? No, it's not liking that. Or the other way. You're a something head. Once we get 1 of 2 of these, we can try punk. No, doesn't like that. Meathead. There we go. You're a... blockhead, maybe? Yeah. A knucklehead? No, we've got to go the other way. Knucklehead. There we go. Right, 2 left. Something between block and knuckle, alphabetically, and something after meat. So it's probably starting with E. right? If we're between block and knuckle. I can't see empty head. You're bone hurts. Works. Yeah, well done. Thanks. And sleepy. Nice. Nice work. An EP head. Right, on to strands, which is another word search. We're looking for 7 words in this grid, one of which will be a spangram, which means it's another kind of theme / category word for the other 6 words that works with the name of the game theme. And the spangram has to touch 2 opposing sides of the board. So it could be starting in the middle of the board, could touch like the left and then go all the way across to the right, and that could be a spangram, for example. Name of the game. Store. I reckon we're going to be looking for maybe board game names. Can we get like chess or... Yeah, we can... So we can... Sorry. We'll get onto the boring coding bit in a minute. It's fine. You're doing some comic work. Mustard. I like mustard. Yeah, let's go with that. Very good. Okay, so we're looking for Cluedo or Clue. Are they going to let us do Cluedo? Cluedo's the English name of it, isn't it? Clue suspects. That's our spangram. So then obviously we've got peacock up here. We've got green. We've got plum. We've got scarlet, right? Scarlet. And orchid? Since when is there an orchid in Cluedo? What? Orchid? That's definitely a new character in my eyes. Miss Scarlet. It was Professor Plum, Reverend Green, Miss Peacock, Colonel Mustard, and then it was Mrs. White, I think, in the UK version at least. As soon as you got mustard, it was like, okay, we're looking for Cluedo. That's fine. Or Clue, if you want to call it the American name. Introduced in 2016, removed in 2023. Oh, controversy. Right, and then we're gonna finish up with the mini. One of 1077 in the first single volume edition of Lord of the Rings. Right, okay. Clickable symbol. Okay, I'm going to come back to that. 3 down. Slangy aspirations for a group of friends. Okay. Voting counterparts of nays. We can have eyes, right? Adopted as a teenager by Dr. Black Orchid. Orchid was privately schooled in Switzerland until her expulsion following a near-fatal daffodil poisoning incident. She's then homeschooled by old housekeeper Mrs. White. What? Right, okay. It's a weird setup. Thank you for icon. Arouses interest. Maker of car models like MDX. TLX. God, I'm struggling with these. All's well that ends well. Let's go with the ones we know. Like a kindergarten on the first day of school. Shy. So this is going to be yeses. Yeah. Yays, maybe. Yays. I think it's going to be shy. The first single volume edition. Is this a tome, maybe? Yeah, that works. Yes. I'm not sure I like tome. Slangy aspirations for a group of friends. This is gonna be hurls, right? Let's get rid of tome because I don't like that. Acura? I have no idea. I like peak, yep. Oh, so that's going to be page. So there are 1,077 pages in the squad goals, isn't it? Oh. Nice. God, we got battered by some of these games today, though. Those were way harder than ones we've had previously. Right, what we can do today? Yeah, there were some really tough ones. But that's the point, is to get the brain thinking. Get us in a bit of a thinking mood. So, what we said we're going to do today? We're going to do some player actions. I mean, there's plenty more difficulties around making a multiplayer game that I think is going to be harder. But luckily, we're not really dealing with the difficult bits of multiplayer at the moment, so hopefully it's not going to be too difficult. So what I might do is we might what are we going to do with this? I feel like what I want to have now is when we select a unit, we select an action somewhere here. So we're going to have to put 3 buttons in. There are 3 actions that we want to do. And then based on that selection, we want to show different tiles. So this needs to adapt based on what we're trying to do. And we're going to have to figure out where we can send the data. I don't really want to make another game manager script, but maybe we use this because it's not really being used. Like, I think that's sitting on our game script, right? Is there a way to look in Godot where a script is being used? Is this being called anywhere? least in the games you can participate. I'm too far ahead to be much help in this area. No, I don't think I'm that far. Like this, the bits I'm doing at the moment are not really too heavily involved in the server side of stuff. I think, at least. We'll have to see. It's always the case with coding projects, though. It's like familiarity with a code base really makes a big difference. Where do we know this is even being called? I don't think this is being used at all yet. So let's just print here, game manager. And hopefully we can see if it's being called anywhere. And we'll probably need to get rid of the hover print here that we've got on our game scene. Which is where this hover event is it in set tile maybe? You're working on the terminal today. You got the ping working and now to get DIR. Oh. So it's going to be an interface in the game that's representing a terminal interface on. Is it like a hacking game? You're trying to work your way to figure out what files are hidden on the terminal. That sounds quite fun. I think it's going to be in here, isn't it? On map. No, what's causing our output then? Let's just start with 3 units. Okay, we're doing global to coordinates, which is this. We can hide that now. We don't need those prints anymore. That should hopefully tidy up the code a little bit more. That's a much better, yeah. Now we can see that. Oh, that's cool. Teach players networking and coding while also getting a game to play. I like that. It's a nice idea. It's kind of where I want to get to with like games that I want to make. I want to have an educational element to them. So I always say that like players, like gamers, end up learning so much about the world of the game that they play. If we, as developers, swapped out features of that world to be useful things to learn that transfer over to our actual world, it'd be so much so much easier to learn stuff. But a lot of education-based games tend to be so bad. Reminds you of when you learned assembly one Loon Dare. It took me 3 hours. At least 1.5 on the last puzzle. Ooh. I don't get why. Like, I've got my Twitch chat open, but I can't see Rinks. I can't see your messages coming up through my stream chat, which is a bit weird. I'm glad that I've got the separate chats open, but I don't know how you're hiding them. Oh, that one's come through. It was hard. Coding thinking processes are completely different from your normal thinking process. Yeah, you kind of have to put like a different way of thinking on each time you swap. Right, so what were we... Sorry. Getting... This, we wanted to see if the game manager ready is shown at all. Which I don't think it was there, was it? Right, do we have game manager ready anywhere here? No, okay, so this code is not being run at all. So if we attach it to I guess we can attach it to the game. Do we want to do that? Or do we want to have something else handling? We've got this turn state machine. What's that doing? So that's figuring out what actions are available. But turn this down just a little bit for me. So I can actually think of what I need here. Because our game scene is just handling the input events. I mean, really, this UI should be a separate element, which is this panel. If we have a look at this, the screen, it's just this side, yeah. So let's call this GUI. This is our GUI. Which do we need to change up here? Yeah, these are all going to fail now, aren't they? They should be called this, I think. So what I'd be tempted to do is shift this into a separate script, which I think would make sense, because we do have a setup script which is for the place unit scene, but really the UI should not be, I don't think the UI should be handled by the game script. So yeah, it's worth adding a script here. Let's call this game underscore period. And that's got to go in the scripts folder. And this, I guess, is in menus, right? Yeah. Okay, so this needs to do this. And the button down kind of sense to take all of that out. Handle player update. What caused this? Oh, it's from the server. That can come across, that's fine. So we cut this out. That's going to go in here. And then we cut these three out and put them in here. And then we also want these three in here. And these, we can take out that. And that hopefully should work. This we'll take out for the moment because we're not using it. Okay, that just separates that out, so we don't get confused with UI changes from here. That wasn't doing anything. So there's a bit of tidying up code first. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the player action code in here with this game script, and then we'll pull it out into a separate script after. But this will just be to get it working. So so if we go to this, and for the moment we want to do what's this? Is rich text label. So let's add a button into this, which we can just do as a standard button, or we could do an option button. Button that brings up a drop down with selectable options when pressed. Button that brings up a pop-up menu when clicked. I think we'll just do 3 buttons. I think that'll be easier. And we want this above this connect button. And what's this going to be? This is going to be so we want scout, move, and attack. So we're going to make 3 buttons here. So this might all end up being controlled by scripts instead of having buttons for the player to select. But for the time being, we just want to put that in. Let's call these like scout button. This is move button. And no, not that one. This one. Attack button. I wouldn't mind making those a little bit bigger. Do we have like a minimum size somewhere here? Theme overrides, maybe? Let's do a fixed font size of like maybe 24. Maybe a bit bigger, 28. 32. 32 is alright. Okay, if we now trigger the button down, or this GUI input, and this is when the node receives an input event. I think we want this one, so let's connect this up. So we double click, yeah, okay. Connect to script on this one. No, I was like, where? I don't see it there. It's not this one button down. No, it's down here. Okay. So all we want to do here for the moment is just say, or in the event bus, let's do a signal which is action selected. And that's of type action, which actually we do have refs dot actions, right? Let's just double check our refs. Yeah, scout, move, and attack. That's good. So that way we can limit it to only being one of those values. And then here, let's print the event and we'll see what we've got. Because I think we're going to have to do a bit of checking here to say like this. If it's an input event mouse button, I'm sure we're using this somewhere on scout button. Where are we using GUI input elsewhere? Maybe on the place units? No, are we using it on setup? Maybe on setup? We can search for it, can't we? No, I'm taking the long way around. Let's have a look for this. Not in the plugin. Select unit button. There we go. Yeah, this is what we want. So we probably want a hover effect, but I don't know if there's an easy way. There might be an easy way just to do that anyway. If we look at the inspector for the button, is there text behavior maybe? No, icon behavior. There's got to be something here with like focus. Here we go. So on hover, we'd add a new style to it, and we can do that through here. Because otherwise what we could do is in code, we could say if event is mouse move, then change the style through the hover. But we don't want to do that. We just want to do register the click event, basically, which will be here. And we want to say action selected and emit refs dot actions can we do dot there we go, dot scout. So then we just want to repeat that for the other two signals, which are going to be the move button and the attack button. And our attack button here. And that would just be very similar to this. I mean, it almost makes sense just to say send the event to another function. So select action, and we want to take in an event of type input event and a string, which is the action. Actually, that can be of type refs dot actions. And then we can just do this for all three of them. You love Godot, but sometimes the documentation leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, yes and no. I find like the Godot documentation is actually quite comprehensive compared to what I was finding before on like Unity stuff. But yeah, I think it depends on, there's like a lot of niche cases that you need a lot more information. So emit action. So now that can work for all of them. So all of these just have to be this instead. We need to pass in the event. And this one's going to be attack. And that's just way easier. This one's going to be move. And this one is scout. Because then if I want to change it, I only have to change it in the one spot. That's good. So if you click on a button, we emit the action selected. That's all good. So actually, let's tie this in as well. No, we don't need to do that right now. Let's not do that. Okay, and then back in our game scene, we want to connect that same signal, which will be event bus dot action selected dot connect. And we need to connect it to a new function, which is going to be function handle action selection, let's say. And that's going to go to handle action selection. Like that. And then we need a new var here, which is current action selected. It's going to be a string, I think. No, this should be refs start actions. And this is going to require an action of type ref start action. And it's just going to do this equals action. Okay. So then what we need to do is, instead of this show tiles in range, let's just do a bit of pseudocode for a second. To do send unit data to action handler function. And then this point needs to be carry out action selected instead of these. So this is what happens if we do a move action. So we need another function here, which is going to be just like handle action, or this is always the problem with naming functions and variables in your code, is it very quickly gets to a point where you just end up saying the same word over and over again, loses all meaning, so it doesn't actually mean anything while you're trying to code. It's like, what do I mean by action here? Right, what we're going to do is show action range, or show action targets, maybe. Show action options. Let's try that for the moment. And we're going to do a match on current action selected. So if it's refs dot actions dot scout, we pass, and then we want to do that for the other two as well. Move and attack. So if it's move, we've already got that sorted, I think. We just do this show tile in range. And we just do of the cell clicked. Now we want to store this. So current action selected. Let's do var last cell clicked. So type vector 2i, and we only store it when it's a valid click, which is something that's inside the valid range of columns and rows. So that's got to be here. Last cell clicked equals cell clicked. So then here we show tiles in range for the last cell clicked. And we do this. Unit selected, unit manager, cell clicked, check cell, current unit, location. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is show action options here, and we can get rid of these. So that's just doing show tiles in range. So maybe we want this to be show move tiles, which we're going to rename. And this is going to come down to after this function, just so it's a bit clearer in my head. That's all good. This can go above this input event. Okay, and then we want same show scout tiles, last cell clicked. Actually, we don't need to pass this in because we have access to this everywhere. And then show attack tiles. So all three of those are probably going to do something very similar, but our cell coords are now our last cell clicked. Which I think is, if you do, is it Control and D? We can select all of these. Like that. And paste. There we go. So this doesn't need cell coords anymore. Saying that, it's more, there's better reusability if it does use it. Changed my mind. It's going to be last cell clicked. Right, function, show scout tiles. And let's just print show scouts. It's going to show move. And then down here, we're going to say function show attack tiles. And we're just going to print show attack. Right, so this pattern is something I want to have read off of our like unit registry. So for each type of unit, the move, scout, and attack patterns will be read off of the unit itself. These don't need these at the moment, okay. So let's just firstly check this. Oh wait, this has to change as well, doesn't it? Because if the action selected changes, yeah, if unit selected, then show action options. Yeah. Because you might have already selected a unit but then changed the action you want to do. Okay, let's wonder actually if I can just loop round. No, it's not going to let me. Okay, fair enough. Quite a lot has changed. Let's see what we get here. So, start game. Let's place our units. And then we should see down here in the output. So if we click on a unit, we should have showing scout, which is the default. Okay. Then if we click on move, then we get the move pattern that we have programmed in. And then we click on attack. I mean, it's still going to do the move functionality because we haven't removed that. But that's a good start. Okay. So let's say function move unit, and that function is going to do this lot here. Oh wait, it's unit selected. Current unit location cell clicked is not going to be available, is it? That's fine. That deselects, that's fine. So if we take that out and put it here, it's going to complain a little bit, but we can fix that. This cell clicked should be last cell clicked. Current unit location. Where does that get set? Cell clicked. Okay, that's fine. So check action valid. That's cool. So that'll be down here. We do function check action valid. And again, we've got to do something similar to this. This will be move unit though. Ooh. And we want to... It's going to be a bit backwards forwards here. We kind of want to check that the cell selected is valid. Okay, we'll worry about that in a bit. That's fine. So let's just add in the functions here that we know we're going to need. Which is going to be scouts and attack. Which we'll probably need to give better names to these, but that's fine. Scout cell, scout target, let's say, of last cell clicked. And then this will be attack target. So the main thing this needs to do is get rid of that. Show tiles, that's fine. Sorry, I'm just reviewing and just figuring out if this is what I want to do. I think this is fine. Especially if we cut this out into its own separate scripts, that'll be fine. So I think also what we want to do is for each of these functions, we have like a validate action, which we're gonna do for all of these. And for all of them, we would need print validate action, and actually we do have the information here, but we don't really want to use all the global data, so we'll have to refactor this at some point, but this will work for the moment. So we want here refs dot actions. How do I get the name of the action? We've done this before somewhere. Yeah, we're using units somewhere, aren't we? So refs dot units. Find key unit type. Units.keys. Yeah, so the name is find key index. Okay. So refs.actions.find keys find key of current action, which is current action selected. So validate action, this should say what action I'm trying to do. And then this will be like the source cell is the unit's current location. And then how do we break line? I think it's like that, isn't it? Maybe like that. Where have I put new lines before? Somewhere else. Up here, maybe? Yeah, here. Backslash. Let's break it there. Source cell and destination, or target. Let's call this target. Of last cell clicked. That needs a comma. Okay. Let's see what happens with that. I mean, it should just work straight away as well. So we haven't changed anything on here. So we select like attack. Show attack. And then, so we've got this knight selected. So I click on this unit. So validate action. Attack from the source cell of 2, 5, which is column 0, 1, 2, row 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, to target 3, 3. which that is, yep. That looks good. If we change to a scout, yeah, that looks good. And then if we do a move, oh, that's not great. We've got to negate that move after. Okay. So we've got the start of an action plan here. So let's have a little think of what we're going to do with this. So what I kind of want to do is get access to the unit data. So it's going to be like an array of cells. What's going to be the best way to represent? You're about done today. So your stupid limit has been reached. Yeah, it feels that way some days. The focus just disappears so early on. So why was that showing the move again after? That doesn't work there, does it? Unit manager, check cell, cell clicked. It's worth adding in here the unit is unit selected, and let's see, is that telling me the specific unit? So let's say we use this knight and we do an action. Yeah, infantry 2, that's good. Okay. So technically we can get data off of the map. No, off of the unit manager about the units. Which, if we look at our remote, if we have a look on here, this is where we want to store some data on the unit that maybe tells us information about how that unit moves. But do we need to get that from... I don't think we need to get that from the unit manager, actually. I think that comes from game state, because game state has this registry here. Yeah, this is what we want to access. How am I going to do that? So if instead, let's say we do this, if we do a 3, 2, 1. Oh wait, these need to be negative, don't they? How are we doing? Wait, quick look. On our game, -202. So if we do something like this, just as a test, 1, 2, 3, and then move is the one that we just did, which will be -2, 0, 2, and attack will give an array of, I don't know, like 1, 1, 0, 1, -1. We're gonna figure out what we want our data to look like. This is all just going to be a test. Actually, let's just do that, because you don't want to move onto the 0. Oh no, because we're sorry, we need 0. This is going to have to be a 2D array, I think. There'll be like a move X and Y, a scout X and Y, and an attack X and Y, I think. But maybe we think of a better way rather than an array to do this. These are probably going to be functions. Let's see if this works. So we put scout, move, and attack on our unit data, which sits in our unit registry, and we can access through this kind of setup. So in our game, instead of using this here, we want to do something like game state dot unit registry, and then we need to pass in the, is it the name? Unit name is a string. Do we have access to the unit name? It is this unit selected, isn't it? Unit selected. And then we want move. So this will almost work, but the problem is we've got the 1 or 2 indication on the end of it, so that's not going to be quite right. Let's just have a look at our game state unit registry. Yeah. So we really just want to slice off the end of this unit. So what we could do is just have a var unit type, which is refs.units, and then we say unit type is equal to, how do we catch? We've got this here. Begins with like the easiest thing would be just to cut off the last letter of the name, because the units are called their unit type with an ID after it. But I'm just thinking, if I want to future-proof this, I could do something like this, where we take like unit selected that begins with I almost want to do it in here, actually. I can do it here. Function get type. And it's going to be takes in a string, which is going to be unit name. And it's going to return ref.unit. And then we're going to have to say for unit in refs.unit, if if unit name begins with refs.units, oh, it has to be capitals, dot find key of unit, then return unit. Is this going to be an index? Is that going to be a value of like 1, 2, or 3? Or is that actually going to be the name? Don't know. So then else. Oh, otherwise return -1. I think that's going to be unit index. So here, unit type equals unit manager dot get type of unit selected, and let's do print unit type and see what that gives us. This has to be unit type. Oh, maybe. We'll see what happens with that. Let's rebuild and see where we've broken our code. Something's going to be broken. Right, so if we select Scout and click a unit, there we go. Invalid type in function begins with in base string. Cannot convert argument 1 from nil to string. Oh, unit index is already... okay, that's the unit name. So that is unit type. That's fine. So that begins with unit type. Return unit type. Else return... none. It's got to return a refs.units. So maybe we have a none in here. No, that's not going to work. Then it's going to generate in our registry, it's going to generate a none entry, which I don't want. So this is a string then. So we can return it as a string. And then else we return none. Let's see what that does. It might complain here that this isn't actually a string, but I think it should be okay. You might have to typecast it. Trying to assign value of type string to a variable int. This is also a string. Will you just let me resume on that? I don't know. Oh, maybe. That's looking good. Okay, that is good. Right, so that means, I think, that we're getting the move from here. So then what we could do to test that we could maybe make a generic version of this, which would be like function show target tiles, and this we want to take in our unit location, cell location, which is a type vector UI, and action type string. And let's say we do all of this. Now this is unit cell location. And then rather than this be move, we want to do action type. Go on, if this works, that would be great. Show action type. And maybe we want like a var tile type which is of type refs tiles. What do you want for lunch today? What are the options? And then we want to do like match action type. No, actually, we don't even need that, do we? Can we just say like tile type equals action type? Refs dot tiles type action type, maybe burger, tacos, or grilled chicken with white rice. Well, one of them sounds healthier. Depends what you're feeling, and depends what you're planning to do for the afternoon. Can I do this though? So this is lowercase string. So where am I referencing? Let's look at refs.unit. Refs.units. So find key unit type. I think I can just do dot action type. Wait, can I do action type? How do I capitalize? Let's do look up single string. I want full capitalization. Like, is it going to be like upper or? Oh, and vote for rice there. I mean, tacos could have rice in. Where's our to get base name? No. Join, split, no, length, match. Okay, so number. God, there's so many string methods. Okay, two camel case. Here we go. We're getting somewhere. Two. Okay, it's just going to be two upper. So I'm hoping I can just pass in tile type here. No idea if that's all worked, but hopefully it'll be pretty close. Yeah, can't go too wrong with rice, can you? Right, so if we click Scout and click U. Oh, we're not even calling the code that we just did, are we? So we say show target tiles instead. Just always. Let's do that. Which needs unit cell location, which is that last cell clicked. And action type, which is this, right? Current action selected. No. Can I do like ref.action dot find key current action? That is okay. Got no idea what this is going to do. Hopefully it works. I still get so confused over the enum stuff. I haven't got it clear in my head how to change between the name of something and the value. Invalid access to property or key scouts on base object of type dictionary. But that dictionary, if we look at the game state here, should have, oh, it's lowercase, action type dot to lower. Let's try that. Oh, resume. Oh, move, attack. Oh wow, yes. Right, okay, so we're pulling the tile type and the pattern all the way from the game state. That's exactly what I was hoping was going to happen. I was not expecting that to work so smoothly though. Cool, okay. We're getting somewhere with this stuff then. Oh, that makes stuff here so much simpler. So we're not doing that. These don't need to be separated. I mean, really, this could go straight into show target tiles. But let's leave this extra jump just in case we want to add in some like extra checks here. So that would be good to have that there. This, I just realized, should be not in these individual ones. It should just be here anyway. And what we should do is we should say if validate action then we can do this. So this needs to return a bool, which at the moment we can just say return true. But if it doesn't like the result of the validation, then it will stop any action happening. That's good. Okay. I think that's a good pause point. I'm going to go and have a little screen break, top up my water and have a little stretch. Just a couple of minutes. Let's do, helps if I'm on the right screen. Yeah, just a 3-minute timer. That'll be all right. Yeah, do take a break from screens. It's a good time to get up and move around. And we'll be back in a few minutes. Cheers. Right, let's get that off the screen. Okay, so we now have a way of showing valid targets. I think what I want to do is change the way that this formulates though. Because at the moment it's just doing the array that it works through. Whereas I think I want to give it a set of rules instead. That might take a bit of design though. Like, what could we do here? Let me have a quick think. So what I need to do is have something that we can pass in at this point of the calculation, and using our unit cell location and maybe we could pass in a function here. I wonder if Godot allows that. So it'd be something along the lines of would this work? I don't know if this is how this would work. Let's just write it here just so that we can check it. But like function is target we want to return a bool. And we want to take in cell and target cell, unit location, and target cell. Or unit cell and target cell. Source cell. We got there eventually. And target cell. And let's just say if source cell minus target cell. We're not going to be able to do that on vector 2s, are we? This is of type vector 2i. And let's just do if source cell dot x equals target cell dot x. Return true. Return false. We might as well do the else. Expected. Oh, it's double equals. Okay, can we use that as our attack? Maybe. So we go back to our game. And we go back to this being like, let's say 3 if unit and cells is greater than 0. So let's say if this is like -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So cells in that array. And then we can say like if game state. Oh, I should have done with that previous code actually. Wait 1 second. Let's just cut that and then. Oh, it's not going to let me do it. Right, let's put this into a comment then. And go back to our game state, and we just copy this array. And then we say if, so game state dot unit registry, is this going to work? It'd be great if it does. Unit type. And then action type dot to lower. So this should return a function if it's using the attack, which we can then pass in. Cannot call on an expression. Use call. Okay, dot call. And we want to pass in unit cell location. Unit cell unit current location. Unit cell location. Which one's which? Unit cell location, that's what's passed in. And temp cell. Then we want to set, okay, so then we do this. So if unit collection.x plus cells is greater than 0, so this is checking it's within the map boundaries. So that's our new temp cell. And if that returns true, then we set it to the tile type. And then the same for here. God, I've got no idea if this is going to work. It should work though. So our company's hiring websites is so dumb. What's the point in having a resume if you're going to make me fill the data out in an application form? Yeah. Yeah, that is the reason. But then I do think that they shouldn't really need to send in a resume on top of that if you're filling out all the data for them. But yeah, it's to eliminate any biases in the way that you read the resume or the CV. I hated application processes and interviews and all that kind of stuff. I hope I don't have to do those for a while. Yeah. There might be systems out there that allow you to upload your CV and they autofill for you. But then, do you want to give AIs a copy of your CV? I'm not sure I'd want to do that. I suppose actually they do it on that end, don't they? Right. Is this going to work at all? I feel like this is going to break. But it'd be great if it worked. So let's do a couple of inventory. Let's spread them out a little bit. And it should only work on the attack, but if I select one of these, hopefully... Oh my god. Oh my god, it works. Wait, what? Follow up on the elimination. If you're not willing to take the time, maybe not a good fit. Yeah, I guess. It stops people like mass applying for jobs. Like if you're looking for someone who's looking for a role specifically at your company, it's a good way to narrow it down. Okay, so we can now do functions. Thank you. How many times have they lost out on an applicant because they don't want to waste time filling out your system just to never get a call again? Don't need the new job, it's just like a different one. Not gonna waste time on that value. Yeah. It all depends on what kind of like level of job we're talking about. Obviously things that are like yeah, it's always going to be the case. It's going to be your thought processes versus their hiring process. But maybe they only want people to apply who really want to be... Yeah, so a directors of operations job, I would expect the people applying for that to be either, yeah, to fill out the details required, I would say that's more so that you'd expect someone to be taking the time. I think I'd see it like that. Yeah. I mean, really, if it's a... I would normally imagine if it's a director role, that the company would hire some recruitment staff to headhunt certain people for it rather than having applications. It all depends, yeah. It all depends on certain circumstances and opinions as well. Yeah. Depends on the size of the company as well. Okay, so how are we going to do this though? Because what we want to do... Oh god. I don't know if my brain's ready to do this part of the code. So we want something along the lines of the unit registry to be created and then to assign different types of movement, different patterns. Job board systems have created a job hunting experience not unlike online dating. Yeah, I think. Had a friend who got the just before getting hired phase and did well on all the interviews, only for the company to hire someone internally. Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, the systems are rubbish especially for bigger companies, I think. Ugh. That's so painful as well. Because sometimes that happens even when like the company isn't intending to hire at all. They're just doing it to like either put pressure onto the internal staff as being like, oh well, we're going to look externally for this role, but you can apply as well. And then if the staff see that the company is like getting people in for interviews, then it's like, okay, there is competition for this. I've got to be willing to maybe take a lower salary or something like that. It's all that kind of stuff that's horrible. I just hated. I worked for an insurance company for a bit and I hated it. Had something similar. I think I cried when I got a rejection. Oh yeah, it's all that setup is just wrong. We have to look in externally and internally. Yeah. Well, it's because there could be that one other person who's willing to do the same job for 10 grand less or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, not a fan of corporate management and that stuff. So can I just do here like placeholder functions? So let's say this is function placeholder. It just does nothing. Actually, the placeholder should print placeholder function not overwritten. And then all of these should be these placeholder functions. Okay, that's good. And then here, well, I'll read those in a sec. Here where we're setting our units, we want to call another function which will be set unit actions, action ranges, action, what's the right term? Action patterns, let's call this. And we want to pass in unit name. And I'm going to do function set unit action patterns. And unit name is what? Unit name is a string, I think. Name as string. Right, sometimes I think HRs just have to justify their existence. It's like it's like IT's job. If you're doing your job perfectly and nothing goes wrong, then they start asking, why do we pay this person so much when he never really has to do anything? Companies should be taking care of employees and giving decent to above average pay. Yeah, increases morale and company loyalty, and the pay makes it so that people buy more things. Yeah. It's an interesting analogy where they use a castle with a protection spell over it. They say, man, it's so safe here. Why do we even need this wizard? It's going to be a lot of that. You're not looking at the effects of the actions. How am I going to do this? Could just put this at the bottom of this script. Yeah, if you're efficient at doing your job, if you're doing half the time, then they think, well, they can do twice the work. I mean, it's with that point where you get to, if you get to that kind of point in your career, that's where you start thinking about going freelance or contract. And then you contract out your skills to do that. Yeah, it's creative fields are very rough for that kind of stuff. There was that little song that was going viral a lot of the time, wasn't it? Which was it costs so much because it takes me fucking hours, wasn't it? Oh, didn't like to do that. Yeah. Is I just hate that. But even with a lot of creative fields and stuff like that as well, you've got to remember that if you're paying someone to do a project, you're not paying for them only for the time that they spend doing that project. You're paying for their expertise and the years that they've been practicing to be that good at that project. Like, but people don't think like that. Right, so we're going to pull this down to here. And we're going to do a match on the unit name. And refs dot units I guess dot infantry. So going to stop complaining. Okay. Oh god. He must deal with so much of that crap of like people just DMing you and being like, oh, really like your style, can you do me this for like $20? It's like, no. Yeah, there's a reason why it's thousands of dollars for some of it. Yeah. Right, so what we want here is something like this to equal his target. Right, okay. This should work. So scout move attack. And then we repeat this for the other types of units. So we've got infantry, we've got a bush unit, and we've got a mushroom unit. So really, we want like a whole... how are we going to do that? We want like a massive array of potential patterns. So this is column target. If the X value is the same. So we can do is row target if the Y value is the same. Let's just like vary these. So we get a variety here. So column, so that's going to go to attack. That's going to go to that. That's going to go to that. And then how would diagonal work? Let's think about that. So if the source and the cell, so we want to say if source cell Y minus target cell Y is equal to source cell X minus target cell X. function is diagonal target. If this works, this is going to be so good for being able to change around target patterns, because I can just give it some kind of formula rather than actually having to build anything out. So at the moment the range is 0 to 3, and this should work for both of them actually. Let's see what happens with this. We'll rebuild. Commission prices struggle a lot because of money exchange rates too. Yeah, so highly skilled, low confidence will ask for a lower price because in their conversion it amounts to higher rate. Yeah. And you can kind of work like that. It's tough. You have to balance being able to eat with being able to hold your ground and command the price. Yeah. That's why game design and 3D art is just a hobby for you. Oh wait, I need one of each. I just need one of each, that's fine. Well, let's do something like that. So expected 0 arguments. Scout on infantry. Why is that? Set unit action patterns. Did I not call that? Game state, unit registry, infantry. Can I see what this callable is? Because hubby works enough to support both. Yeah. Working part-time, yeah. Don't like unknowns when I have family to provide for, so yeah. It's the recovery of the day job, yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, I do feel like it's a luxury to be able to spend more time doing this kind of stuff. I'm very lucky with that at the moment. So why is that not work though? So what is this not correct unit name? Let's do unit name and then also refs dot units dot infantry. So this is not going to match, is it? That's why it's not worked. Where's the units? Or is it when I set this? Right, okay, so it's printing this. Which is not the same as 0. So this isn't working here. Not legally allowed to be full-timer. So visa prevent you from... It prevents you from full-time work. That sucks. I don't understand why visas are set up like that. Surely you want people to be able to work, right? That seems weird. Spend as much as I can. Wife and kids make it hard to find time to do stuff. Oh, that's great. That's good to have. Hey Zimni, I'm good. Yeah, how are you? How's Factorio treating you? Sounds good. Have a nice lunch. So we're gonna match on ref's unit name, maybe. Does that work? Oh no. Got an hour of black screen. Yes, that is good. Okay. What, the Factorio playthrough? You getting views on that? It's more for your own satisfaction. You don't stream your Factorio as much, do you? It's more recorded offline, right? Come on, is this gonna work? No, still broken. Argument 2 from nil to vect 2. This is null. Why is temp cell null? Oh, because that indentation is incorrect. Okay. Few minutes watched on average out of like 2. Yeah. Don't look at analysis. Don't look at video analysis. It's not good. I did that for a bit when I first started streaming. I'm like, oh, it's just horrible looking at these stats. But as long as you're doing the stream for your own benefit, it works out well. Is that right? Ooh, maybe. That looks like it's working. Why is this only the cell in the middle though? Nice, yeah. That's good. So this is not working right. if source y minus target y. No, okay. So how do we want to do this? Okay, how is diagonal gonna work? Today's community night at Damekeep server, and then some special modders meeting. Ooh, that sounds cool. Got more stuff coming from for Damekeeper again. Right, if we're doing 3 by 3, we're checking like this range. So this cell, oh, it's not going to be, no, right. So the source cell is 2.5, the target is 0.3. Source cell 2.5. So 5 minus 3 is 2. And 2 minus 0 is 2. So that should be equal. Why is that not returning true? Let's do this. Let's do print source cell. Wait, we want to do that. We'll do that here, yeah. Okay. The print source cell dot y target cell dot y and a space source cell x. I can't spell today. Source cell x target cell x. Let's try this again. Right, one, two of those, and one of those. That's fine. Right, we want the instance here where first two numbers, the difference between the first two numbers should be the same as the difference between the other two numbers, right? So that, those two, five two one one 5311. What's happening there? So the y value is this way. So 5 0 1 2 3 4 5. Three, 2, 1, 0. Okay, yeah, so that cell then that cell. Wait, what's going on here? That all looks wrong. So cell X is going out the edge of the screen, so it ignores the first lots. Oh, we're not testing these cells properly, are we? Okay, this all needs a big refactor. That's fine. It's kind of working. Let's do a big to-do here. I think we might be needing to wrap up stream in a sec though, because I'm out of time. But let's leave a good note here. So this needs refactoring. I don't think it's actually checking all the cells in the, well, I guess it's more than a 3x3 grid. I guess it's actually a 4x4 with these numbers, but in the desired grid, let's call it. Desired grid. So that will be what we tackle next time. But the main thing that's happening is we've now hooked up the, well, we've now got a scout, move and attack button for each of these that is setting the action that the player wants to attempt. We're drawing the target tiles on the map based on what action is selected and what unit is selected, and also we're now pulling that pattern from our game state as a function rather than as an array, which opens up way more possibilities in terms of like in terms of action patterns that we can do. So I'm actually pretty happy with that setup. I think that's a good stopping point. Let's have a little look. Oh, that's all closed. That's annoying. So I'm pretty happy with the progress today, though. I don't know if this is how we're going to end up with the phases being, like the actions being determined. I might have some kind of game manager that decides what turn, what phase each player is using. So it might be like player 1 has a scout turn, then player 2 has a scout turn, then player 1 has a move, player 2 has a move, for example. Or it might be on each player's turn, they get to pick out these actions and do one of them. But then we like disable it for the next turn. So you're not just always attacking or always moving or something like that. There's loads of options we can do around this, so we'll have to figure out what we want to do with that. And then also at some point we need to do our own graphics rather than using these assets that we're using at the moment. But there's plenty more to do. And also we need to look into how we can do the multiplayer. So what are we going to set the server up in, what language that's going to be, how we're going to host it, all that kind of stuff. There's still plenty of big chunks to do here. Yeah, lot to look into. But yeah, thanks everyone who's been chilling out today. I'm going to wrap up there. Just going to have a quick look. If there's any suggestions for raids? I really need to get better at doing raids at the end of stream. I just don't have anything set up properly. In terms of streams coming up, might do another game dev stream tomorrow. I'll see if I can fit it in. I might have to do some other work though. And then next week I'm probably not going to be able to stream much. Maybe on Monday, but that'll probably be it. So I might try and fit another stream on Sunday. But I'll message on I'll put a message on Discord as to the plans, and I'll try and schedule the live stream on YouTube before I go live. Thanks a lot. See you. Have a good day. Yeah. Thank you. Hope you both have a good rest of your week and weekend and rest of the day or rest of the morning. For you, Brinks. I never know what time it is for you. Feels like it's probably quite late at the moment for you. But yeah, thanks all for chilling out and have a good one. And go to this one. Thanks for watching. Yeah, odd overlap times, isn't it? Cool. Cheers. Have a good one.